Right, that's it. I can't take it anymore. Get strapped in for a rant because this one really annoys me. Today we're plunging sword first into the Final Fantasy VII love triangle. And before you sigh like Barrett at a juggling club, allow me to assure you, yes, it does exist.
A date?
It's real, canonical, developer endorsed, and frankly, the fact it still sparks Twitter trench warfare in the year of our livestream 2025 only proves how well crafted this emotional menage a trois really is. Now, before someone pipes up and reminds me that I'm a Cerith, two things. One, congratulations! You officially sit within the 87% of our planet that are literate. Secondly, the reasonable Cerith is not just a clever name. I'm reasonable because I see the Tifa route as a lovely, valid romance that genuinely improves the game. My stance on FF7's romance is that both routes are perfectly correct and completely down to player interpretation. Where I do start to piss on people's cornflakes, and probably why I was slandered on X even before I got on the platform, is I cannot stand people being belittled or gaslit for having a perfectly decent opinion.
Evidence!
So let's begin with the popular claim among certain fans that there is no love triangle. Right. Look, a triangle, basic geometry really, has three sides. In this case, Cloud, Tifa and Aerith. The narrative openly acknowledges emotional tension and romantic ambiguity between them, in both OG and the remake trilogy. In the very first few pages of the manual shipped with the glorious OG, the love triangle is highlighted. For some, it's one of the first pieces of information they ingested regarding Final Fantasy VII. Nomura-san, Kitase-san and Najima-san, the high church of Square Enix storytelling, have all gone on record confirming the love triangle exists and was meant to be interpreted subjectively. And in the Final Fantasy VII Ultimania Omega, yes, the Tome of the Damned, developers describe Cloud's relationships with both Tifa and Aerith as romantic in nature, depending on player choices. This is not subtext, it's text, and frankly, it's fairly obvious unless you're purposefully ignoring it.
And that's all there is to it. Sure there isn't something else going on?
These games, whether new or old, have player choice. Devs went to great effort to make it so. Devs don't waste resources on a figment of a player's imagination. Back in 97-98, Squaresoft had to be incredibly tight with what they included in the game. They already had to exclude some much-loved elements to cut anything that wasn't absolutely necessary. If the romance choice wasn't real, why did they use that precious exclusive space to include it? The answer, because it's important. Not that important, because FF7 is not a romance. Equally, as Clotis love to tell me, it's not a dating sim. No, it's not. It is, however, an RPG with strong dating sim elements, and a romance system that is largely driven by both the player's choices and how they interpret the words that are said. There is a persistent, unkillable myth that Cloud never reciprocated Aerith's feelings. A myth which, if you pay attention to the original 1997 game, dies faster than me at a speed dating event. From the very get-go, Aerith is flirtatious, forward and oddly fixated on our emotionally baffled protagonist. This is no mere friendship. She literally asks him on a date, calls him my bodyguard,
Mine.
and shamelessly flirts with the guy from Midgar to Costa del Sol. Cloud, in turn, doesn't exactly tell her to get lost. He blushes, plays along, and if you're not utterly tone deaf to nuance, is clearly affected by her presence. People always seem to forget Aerith offers a date as a form of payment, and Cloud accepts. This is a hugely clear indication of Cloud's feelings. It's not choice, it's not affinity based, it's not optional, it's not skippable. Cloud accepts Aerith's advances pretty much from the get-go. But what about Tifa, our childhood friend, the keeper of secrets, the one who might have feelings for the real Cloud but also might just be clinging to her image of him? Tifa's bond with Cloud is complicated, layered, and yes, equally valid as a romantic option. It's a beautiful thing to watch, just as the Aerith route is, which is precisely the point. The genius or cruelty of Square Enix is that they've created a narrative Rorschach test. You see what you want to see. If you believe Cloud loved Aerith, the game supports you. If you believe Cloud and Tifa were always meant to be, the game supports you. And if you think Cloud should just marry his motorbike and ride off into the sunset, well, Square Enix has your back. They also seem to suggest a slightly unsavoury Cloud and Sephiroth thing, but that's probably one for a whole other video. The Final Fantasy VII love triangle isn't just about who kissed whom. It's about identity, memory, grief, and the messiness of human emotion. Aerith represents lightness, spontaneity, and a brighter future, rather ironically. Tifa represents history, grounding, and the promise of recovery, mutual recovery. And Cloud, poor Cloud, represents that awkward man-child that's so broken it may well take both the support of Aerith and Tifa to get him fully recovered. So yes, the triangle is real. Aerith and Cloud had something real. Tifa and Cloud had something real. It's not a battle, it's a beautifully unsolvable equation, and Square Enix wants you to solve it your way. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay civil, and remember, even if your OTP isn't canon, at least it isn't Genesis Rhapsodus.